Greeting YouTube. Welcome to episode 7 of the 4,000 question challenge. So here we go. What did your childhood bedroom look like? It was jungle themed, so green carpet, like little accents of like bamboo and animal prints and things like that. In fact, I had a fake fur black blanket that I used to terrorize my sister with as well. I don't know if I've ever told that story or not. I probably should. What do you think that learning takes place? Do you think that learning takes place in the womb? Well, we know some evidence that children have picked up some information from like music played while in utero, but that's not going to start kicking in until like late in the last trimester. So I guess it's potential, but that's a really broad definition of the word learn. What is your most vivid memory of elementary school? Most vivid memory of elementary school. I don't know if I can come up with the most vivid, I'll be honest, but the first one that popped into my skull when I finished reading those words in that line was coughing so hard I puked purple cough medicine onto my history book, and then finding out 5 years later, or 6 years later, that my sister got the same book, which made me laugh. What is something you really wish you had not started earlier in life? Anxiety, depression, and PTSD. What did you do as you were told when young, or did you rebel? Well, I was below 14. I did exactly what I was told because, again, the aforementioned anxiety, depression, and PTSD. What big events happened the year you were born, and who was president? See, 64. I don't remember any historical events from 64 because I was born in 64, and I'll be honest, 64 does not strike me as a particularly memorable historical year in America. I'm sure there were many historical things that went on, but I don't necessarily remember any of them at the moment. That's very specific. Children's stories. How do you think they have changed? Well, thank the gods, they're far more inclusive now than they were in the past. Many of them tend to be far less racist, less sexist, less exclusionary to gay people and trans people and non-Christian people. So kudos on children's stories of 2018 as compared to those of 1964. Was there anything unusual that happened to you in childhood? Again, it's a really, really wide net on that one. So yeah, I guess we've all had unusual things happen to us as children. Really, I mean, I got mauled by a dog. Is that unusual? I have scars on my face to prove it. Is that unusual? Is that not unusual? I don't. That's a really broad question. Would your parents consider you well behaved or badly behaved? My mother and father would have considered me very well behaved. Not that I had any option. Who was one of your most memorable teachers in elementary school? See, I'm horrible with names, so I can kind of like remember the faces of some of these people. Pretty much exclusively women. The only male I can remember that was of any significance was Mr. Hartson, and he was a gym teacher, and he was just very entertaining. I liked him. He was a nice dude. He was into bodybuilding back before bodybuilding was a thing, back before steroids were everywhere. He bodybuilt based on what he ate and what he pushed and lifted. He's one of those dudes that would like eat an entire block of Cracker Barrel cheese at lunch. He'd do a thing if you give him an apple, he would crack it in half, tear it in half with his bare hands, and then as long as you gave half of it to him, he was a cool dude. Yes. Okay. Sorry, that was the last question for today. So this has been episode number 7 in the 4,000 question challenge, and I hope you've been enjoying them.